Well, hello again, everyone. This is Ted Schmidt from Action Coach Northwest, and this is another installment of our business community podcast. And today's guest is Kristina Van Loben Sels. She is the owner and CEO of Arbor Crest Wine Cellars. So, welcome, Kristina. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Ted. I'm very happy to be here. This is fantastic.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we can't wait to hear more about Arbor Crest Wine Cellars. So, can you tell us a little bit about what Arbor Crest Wine Cellars is all about? What are you guys
Absolutely.
doing at Arbor Crest?
Yeah. So Arbor Crest is actually a family-owned winery, just past 42 years. Not only do we make fabulous wine, but we are a destination winery. So we have a small bistro, we have lots of concerts, weddings, fundraisers, various private events, definitely a kind of a hospitality center as well as the winery. So that's what keeps
Excellent.
us busy every day.
And I have been there. Full disclosure, I have been there. It is a
Yes, you have.
beautiful place to go, and it's a great place to go drink wine. Fantastic views. Sits up on a cliff overviewing the greater Spokane Valley. So it is just awesome. If you haven't been up to Arbor Crest, I highly recommend it. So great concerts, by the way, too. So,
Thank
okay,
you.
here we go. So we're going to ask you some questions today and learn more about your experience as a business owner. And we can share those with the business community and get some great insights, I'm sure, and be helpful to other business owners. So here we go.
Sounds great.
If you had to start from square one in your business, what would you do differently?
Well, um, honestly, so I've been at Arbor Crest for 25 years. My parents started Arbor Crest. So when I took over the business, I inherited a lot of the existing businesses that were occurring. So the one thing that I would change is I would really like to start from square one, and start with my own processes and my own staff. I inherited a lot of different areas of the business that, it just takes longer to actually vet and go through things, to weed out what works, what doesn't work, and then to kind of model it after my vision. So um, I think that's what I would have changed. So
Hmm. So you kind of inherited a vision almost
I did.
and kind of had to adapt and go from, yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Excellent. Excellent. Interesting. Okay. Question number two. We're rolling along here. What have your biggest learnings been as an employer since you began in business?
I would say, so 25 years of doing this, I would say very important to stay true to you, stay true to your vision of what you really want to see. I know in that amount of time, the business climate can change. Things that may have seem important prior, maybe not so much now. So you can easily kind of shift and get off of the path that you kind of want to be on. Um, so I think it's really important to stay true to that. The other thing that I've learned over the years that I think is a great tip for everybody is to hire slow and fire fast. That's a really big thing that I didn't do early on, that I do now, and I think that it's so important. You know when someone's a good fit for you, in your business and who's not. And I think it's so
Excellent.
important to be adaptable. You have to pivot when you need to, and make changes with all these different um, climates that we've gone through in these last 25 years. So very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. What are some common misconceptions about running a business, and how do you address them?
Well, I think a big one is that when you run your own business or have your own business, you are tied to it, and there isn't a lot of flexibility. Um, some people think actually on the other side is you have way more flexibility, but it really, I think the bigger one is that you have to be there all the time. You have to really be very tied and invested to it. And you do, because it is your own business. But I feel like if you can get the right team underneath you, then you don't have to be as tied to it as you need to be. And you can be working on your business rather than in your business. So I'm a firm believer of really trying to find that um, those employees that support you in your vision and
Mhm.
help you make that vision come true, and be successful.
Excellent. Are a great team. There you go. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. What do you do? What do you, boy, I'm having a rough day on these questions. What do you do? What do you attribute your growth to?
Um, Well, a few things. One, like I previously said, you definitely have to reinvent yourself or continually reinvent yourself and analyze what you're doing. Does it make sense? Do you have to pivot? Do you have to change? The other thing is, honestly, a business coach is someone that is fantastic for helping you kind of look at different ways of creating more revenue. Doesn't mean you aren't successful, but maybe you want to grow it. That's so important, and that helped us a lot at Arbor Crest. Is really getting great um, advice from our business coach. So that
Excellent.
I think that's super important.
Okay. I love hearing that, of course.
Of course.
And the next one, here we go. How do you balance your personal life with the demands of running a business?
hmm Well, 25 years of doing this, and I actually work with my husband for 20 of those 25 years, and it's hard to one separate from your business and come home, and not focus on it. But it's also even harder to come home with your husband who's also working with you in it. So we actually learned early on to make the time that once we got home, that was it. We didn't talk about the business after that. We stayed true to ourselves. We spent time, investing in ourselves and our children, and not constant, which is very easy to do, um, to talk about the business all night long, and all day long. So coming home, just, hey, it's 5 o'clock or whatever time, and no more business talk until the next morning. If we had to talk about business, then we would say, you know, can I say one thing for 5 minutes? And that really helped us, and that helps keep the balance, because we can't just be so focused on our business. We have other things. We're other things. We love to ski. I love to paint. There's so many different aspects of who we are, but it's easy when you have your own business to stay so focused in it, that you kind of lose other aspects of yourself. So that's one of the tools that really, I think, worked well for us.
Oh, great advice. Love that. Okay. What qualities do you look for in employees, and how do you foster a positive and productive work environment?
Mhm. Well, I think it's like anything, I try to treat my employees how I would like to be treated. Um, it is my business. However, I hired them for a reason. I hired them to help me. I want to hear their feedback. I want to understand their perspective. They're in a different, they're doing different jobs. I need to lean on them so that they can help me understand that bigger picture. So for me, I look at folks that really can take initiative, that can think for themselves. I don't babysit. And so I need my team to really um, run their department effectively, and then run their team underneath them. So it's super important to um, just kind of have that collaboration to begin with, that
Hmm.
buy-in, if you will. And I think really I like to sit in most of the interviews, and it's important to see how they respond. Another good one is actually having folks come in for an early morning interview, and you can see how tired they are at 8 a.m. But anyway, that it's just it's I think it's important. Obviously, culture is extremely important in our business, and fostering that is just being kind humans and how you would like to be treated, and feel worth and input. So,
Hmm. Great insights there. I like that. I like that. Okay. Only a couple questions left. We're sailing through here. Well done.
wow.
Yeah. Okay. What question should I be asking you that I haven't?
That's a good one. Well, it's I would say, well, as a female winemaker and CEO, more so from the winemaker standpoint, it's been interesting in 30 years of making wine how the industry has changed. It When I started, it was a very it was very male dominated, and it's now split at this point. But it was interesting kind of growing up and kind of forging my way through, um, in the winemaking aspect. And
Hmm.
it feels really neat to kind of lift up other female winemakers and kind of help them forge through and understand what it's like to be a winemaker. It's a very physical job. Winemaking is a very physical job, and so some of them it's very hard physically to do. But I think it's important that we lift up the other female winemakers, the young ones coming through, and tell them that it
Hmm.
is possible and it is extremely rewarding. So,
Excellent. Excellent. Interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
And by the way, Arbor Crest makes really good wine. I can just,
Thank you, Ted. I appreciate that.
yeah.
We work hard
Okay.
at it. We do our
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, I know you do. So last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And any words of advice for other business owners who are looking to grow their business?
Yeah. Well, doing this 25 years, I'm now kind of phasing myself out of more of the day-to-day operations. So I'm really trying to stay at that 50,000 foot level, working on the business, seeing how I want the business to grow, what it's going to look like in 10 years. So I'm focusing on that aspect of the business, and and hiring that team beneath me to really execute the vision that I'd like to see. Um, so that's where I see myself in 5 years, and kind of on that trajectory right now. So that's exciting. And I would say, gosh, folks that want to grow their business, honestly, I mean, Ted, I've worked with you for many years, and you helped us grow Arbor Crest from where it was, and we were kind of in a spot where we it was hard for us to see the growth potential, and you really helped us lift that up and take us to a new level. And we appreciate you very much, and I recommend that to everyone. I mean, I'm not trying to sell anything here, but I truly believe it helped us, continues to help us. I still say things that you taught us, and talk to our team about, and that's wonderful. So I would recommend that to anybody in business, no matter what level they are at.
Well, thank you for that, Christina. So
Mm,
I appreciate
welcome.
that. And it was a pleasure coaching with you. Believe me, it was
Oh,
great
you're
fun.
welcome.
And I learned a lot about the wine business. So that was
Oh,
awesome. So
that's
I
good
really
too.
so anyway, thank you to Kristina Van Loben Sels, the owner, head winemaker, and CEO of Arbor Crest Wine Cellars, for being part of our business community podcast here in the greater Spokane area. And if you haven't been up to Arbor Crest, I highly recommend it. So there you go. Anyway, thanks again, and we'll see everybody again soon. Take care.
Thanks, Ted.